first award tonight, Exceptional Achievement by an Individual, which is a merit-based award for an individual who's made a significant and sustained improvement to the leadership and management of one or more professional firms, whether as a management partner, a managing partner, or external consultant. And please welcome Peter Morgan of sponsors the Financial Times. Welcome, please, Tony Williams, who will give us some background on this year's winner. Welcome to Tony.
Thank you very much indeed. I'm delighted to be introducing this year's winner for exceptional achievement by an individual. I first met this person in 1997 when I'd just been elected managing partner at Clifford Chance. He was advising the firm on a range of matters, and I worked very closely with him, not only addressing our IT strategy, but how our business would change to meet the needs of changing markets. He was fantastically helpful, thought-provoking, and practical in his approach. When I then moved on to Anderson Legal in 2000, I persuaded him to consult with me there until its untimely collapse in 2002. So as you can see, we've worked together through the best of times and the worst of times. He's also developed a wide range of leading professional service firm clients, and he's acted as IT advisor to the Lord Chief Justice, for which he was awarded an OBE. He has strong academic credentials with professorships at leading universities. He's also a prolific writer of forward-thinking books and challenging articles, and quite amazingly speaks at about 150 conferences, seminars, and retreats every year. He also has about 10,000 followers on Twitter, which apparently, Nigel, is about 9,999 more than you do, but there we are. He has made a major contribution in making firms understand and address the implications of the changing legal market and the role that IT will play in that change. In the current, more challenging environment, many of his early predictions have now come to pass. In December, he was one of only 2 non-Americans named by the US New Law Journal as a legal business trailblazer and pioneer, a fitting recognition for his contribution to our profession. I'm delighted to announce that this year's recipient of the Exceptional Achievement Award by an individual is Richard Susskind.
Thank you very much, Tony. This is a great honour. What Tony didn't really mention was that for 20 years I really wasted my time suggesting across the legal profession that technology be embraced. And I always tell the tale, and it's true, that in 1996 when I wrote a book called The Future of Law, and I was saying in that book that one of the dominant ways that clients and lawyers would come to communicate in the future would be by email, then at that time, the Law Society of England and Wales said I shouldn't be allowed to speak in public, which is almost certainly true. They said I didn't understand confidentiality and security, that I was bringing the profession into disrepute. So we've come a long way, I think, in our use of technology in the profession since then. I was reminded of the great evolutionary biologist J.B.S. Haldane, who in an article in 1963 in the Journal of Genetics called The Truth About Death, he suggested that there are 4 stages of acceptance in scientific theory, and I think it maps well onto the work I and others have been doing in technology since the 1980s. And the first stage of acceptance is when the recipients say, this is worthless nonsense. The second stage is when we say, this is interesting, but it's a perverse point of view. The third is when they say, this is true, but it's quite unimportant. And the fourth is when people say, I've always said so. And we're at the I've always said so stage, I think. And you'll hear senior partners of professional firms around the world gravely intoning, yes, I've been saying for many years, our profession's in for a great shake-up, but really they haven't. Until the economy fell off a cliff, most people were carrying on in much the way they had done for many profitable years. As I've always said, it's hard to convince a room full of millionaires that they've got their business model wrong. The truth is that many professional firms have been wildly successful without embracing technology. But we're seeing a change now, and it's a change not just in law, which is my home domain, but more generally. And Richard Chaplin kindly said I could say something a little about my next book. William Goldman, the double Oscar-winning screenwriter, says the big thing in Hollywood is not the current film, but the next film. And so it is too when you're writing books. It's always about the next book. And my next book that I'm co-authoring with my son, Daniel, is called Beyond the Professions. And we're looking at a wide range of professions: medicine, education, consulting, law, tax, audit, many others too. And the main theme there is the theme, in fact, of the conference today about disruption. That the information technologies we're seeing in the world today are no longer, in the jargon, sustaining. They're not simply supporting the way we've always worked. They're coming along and fundamentally challenging and changing the way professional services are delivered. Now, I appreciate that some people see this as hugely threatening, but others see it as a marvelous opportunity. And I fall into that second camp. More than this, I think we're a privileged group because we're living in an era of such amazing technological change that within our working lives, we don't simply contribute, it seems to me, to our professions. We have an opportunity to change our professions for the good of those we advise and to change them irreversibly and very substantially. And it's in that spirit that I'm delighted to accept the award this evening. It really means a great deal to me. Thank you so much, Tony, for your very kind words. Thank you, Richard Chaplin, for your support too, to the judges for their judgment, and indeed for all of you for warmly welcoming me. Thank you.